Okay, today's topic is how to start a conversation with anyone. Now, how often do you see this? I thought it was really cute. Yeah? I really want to be your friend, but I have no idea how to start a conversation. How many of you, encounter this kind of situation? I think most of us at one time or another encountered this, right? Now, that is why we need to know how to meet, how to speak. Now, are you nervous? Let me ask you this. Are you nervous whenever you meet someone? Yeah? Yes or no? How many say yes, how many say no? Are you nervous whenever you meet someone? You're bound to be a bit nervous, right? Especially someone you've not met before. Now, is this due to a lack of confidence or is it fear of rejection? Which is it? Whatever it is, don't worry, you are normal. Okay? Perhaps you have had a bad experience in the past that chips at your self-confidence. Now, we are all held back by negative programming and we feel uneasy talking to strangers, don't you? Now, to get over these negative feelings, we need to learn new positive experiences talking to people, right? So let's see. Now, new members will do almost anything to avoid just talking to a live human being. Yeah? How many of you feel that? Oh, I got to meet someone, I'm so scared. You just try to avoid it. Yeah? They would use other means like phone, email, internet, whatever it is, which do not involve face-to-face personal contact. I notice nowadays people tend to go for the alternative means like phone, email, internet, rather than meeting a person face-to-face personal contact. Why? Because they do not have the basic skill of how to talk to people. These other ways are good, provided you progress them finally to a meeting. Okay, so ultimately you must meet them face to face. All right, so that is the basic skills. How do you learn to talk to people? Now, fortunately, we can learn new skills, just like any task in life. Now, didn't you all learn how to use a smartphone? Didn't you learn how to manipulate the remote control on your smart TV or Zoom, whatever it is? We all learn skills, right? Now, most people reach the limit of their belief well before they reach the limit of their talent. If you don't believe you can do it, you won't do it. You don't believe you can do it because you do not possess the skills to give you the confidence to do it, right? So we have to know the skills. Let's see the next slide. Okay. Fortunately, we can learn, right? That's how we learn how to meet people and start a conversation. Just like one more skill can add to our experience. It is a skill you can learn and use for the rest of your life, right? I think that's, yeah. Okay, let me see the slides. Okay. Some jumble up of the slides, okay. Hang on. Now, if we are introverts, meeting new people can be quite scary, right? Now, get out of your comfort zone and make it a habit to meet one person a day. Make it a habit, all right? Now, good habits can be developed if you do something consistently, yeah? This habit should be automatic, should be comfortable and enjoyable. Okay, you must enjoy the process of meeting people, right? To make meeting a new person a day a comfortable habit, we need to do two things. Firstly, learn what to say when meeting new people. Number two, practice saying these words to new prospects until we feel comfortable. The more we practice, the easier it gets. We can remove our fears and increase our success. Now, how to start a conversation? People form up to 90% of their opinion of you in the first 4 minutes of meeting you. 4 minutes, huh? Now, do people prejudge us? Yes, of course, they prejudge us all the time. We meet people They do not know our background. We do not have a recommendation from a friend, and no one also has told them about us. So how do they judge? Number one, body language. If we are sincere in our intentions, our body language will reflect it. Number two, tone of voice. Tone of voice, our voice is important, right? If our tone of voice will be okay if we have good intentions. Somehow your intentions are bad, the tone of your voice also reflects that, right? Then thirdly, the words we choose. Better words, you get better results, right? So, yeah, okay, what are the normal kinds of words that we can use? Now, body language is something which is very common to us. Let's go back again to those slides, yeah? Now, don't make a forced smile, okay? We want to show genuine, sincere smile and not a fake smile. I think you all can tell between a fake smile and a genuine smile, right? A smile influences other people's attitude towards you and how they respond to you. Do not invade personal space, especially nowadays with social distancing. You know, do not invade that personal space around them. We're not going into details of body language science today because it is a different topic that we can talk at another time, because the body language is also very important, yeah? Now, just make it simple. Watch for happy signals or unhappy signals. Okay, these are the signals you must catch. Okay, don't be so engrossed in what you're going to tell the person or talk to the person. You must also watch for the signals, right? Now, the other one will be voice. The tone of your voice is very important for people to trust us, right? Especially if we can match their talking speed. If someone speaks fast, do not speak so slow to them, they get impatient, right? If someone speaks slowly, don't speed up in your speech because it makes them uncomfortable, yeah? So the tone of voice can override the meaning of our words. Voice must match our meaning of words. Now, the word okay can mean differently actually, if said in different tones. Okay, okay, okay. One word can be said in so many ways, and it can show different kinds of meanings, yeah? Don't worry, our tone reflects our intentions. So always have good intentions. Be animated and be friendly. It's not difficult, yeah? Just smile, yeah? A genuine smile. Always ask, is this a good time to talk? Because people may be very busy, they may be very stressed, or they may be rushing to pick up their kids from school, or they may be getting into the car. They are engaged in other matters. So always ask, is this a good time to talk? Right? Now, the third criteria are the words we say. Now, normally we always start with hi, right? Hi. That's a very socially acceptable word, yeah? Ask a simple question because people have to respond to our question. Now, we call this a conversation. So it is very critical to have effective ways to start a conversation in any situation. You have 3 opening topics to choose from: the situation, the other person, or yourself. Okay? Now, 3 ways to start. The 3 ways to begin. Ask a question. Because when you ask a question, a person is bound to answer, right? Or number 2, give an opinion. It's a warm day today, isn't it? An opinion. This is something which will incite a person to give their opinion as well. So give your opinion, stating a fact. You can either give an opinion or state a fact, right? Now, the situation. Let's look at the situation. If you are at a supermarket, you can always say this: I noticed you're buying parsnips. I've never known how to cook them. How do you prepare them? Or what's the best way of using this detergent? Or can I help you with those packages? It's so easy to start a conversation with anyone in the supermarket, in the aisle. Oh, you're buying that for your kids. Oh, that's very good. Some comment. Yeah. Now, how about at a meeting or at a workshop? you can ask this question. How did you happen to be at this meeting? Or, I've never been to such an exciting workshop. What about you? Is that difficult? Does that sound good? Yeah, to start a conversation with someone. Yeah. How about when you're queuing outside a restaurant? You can say, why do you think this place is so popular? Or you can say, have you been in the line long? Have you been queuing up for long? Or am I in the right lane? Or the right line to line up? You can ask questions like that. Any situation you are in, you can always create conversation. How about at a party? Do you know the host of this party? You can ask that question, right? Very simple. How about at the airport? Now, you guys are traveling every day almost, huh? Hong Kong, Japan, Taiwan. No, at the airport is the best place, the situation. Where are you traveling to? Or where are you coming from? You can ask questions like that. Yeah, always have an opening for a question. Now, continue your conversation by giving opinions or comments or stating a fact or a compliment. Wow, our line is really long here if you're queuing up to check in, you know? Or nice shoes. You got nice shoes on. Or I like your briefcase. Where did you purchase it? Does it come in different colors? Or you can say, when they are queuing up with children, what well-behaved children you have. Or when you're at the little food store, wow, that snack looks delicious. This restaurant has great food. Or, nice day, isn't it? It sure is crowded here today. Now, all these are opening lines you can always start a conversation with. Okay? I know many of you will just stand next to a total stranger and not say a single word. There's always a chance that you can say something nice, right? And I think you need to practice. You need to create words and create greetings to start a conversation, right? It's not difficult. You know, whenever I'm in a situation, I will always talk to the person next to me, no matter what, right? Now, do not, of course, ask invasive questions like personal questions. Huh? Keep your conversation easy, safe, and lighthearted. Like, hi, my name is Pauline. What's your name? Now, some very common safe conversation starters will be, how are you? What is your name? Where are you from? What kind of work do you do? What is your favorite place to have lunch? I'm new here. I just started working in this area. What's your favorite place to have lunch? May I join you? Something like that. Yes? So it's not difficult. If you think about it, it's not difficult. You look at the situation that you're in and you create opening sentences for that situation. Okay? Yeah. Now, talking about the other person. People love to talk about themselves and they're happy to respond to any question you ask them. You can start with, I'm just curious. Remember this, the magic words we did before? I am just curious. The stranger thinks, what does this person want to know? How can I help this person? When you start with, I'm just curious, people will want to reply you. What does he want to know? So you can say, I'm just curious. How long have you been standing in this line? I'm just curious. How long have you been a member of this organization? Okay. Or what did you do over the holidays? What did you think was best about this lecture? You see, it's talking about the other person, right? It's not about yourself or the situation. This is about the other person. What did you like best about this event? Okay, so the concentration is on the other person. How about at a party? You go up to a person and say, that is an interesting badge you're wearing on your jacket. What does it stand for? Okay, or you can wear your EM t-shirt, you know, walk around in your EM t-shirt and someone says, hey, what's that? What's essentially meridian? Yeah, you can ask someone. Now, always ask the person what it stands for. So if people see you wearing, they will ask you also, what does it stand for? Yeah. At the golf course, you've got a great swing. How did you perfect it? It's all about the other person, right? Now, if you go to a council meeting, sometimes you join some council, some condo council or some other council, building council. You can say, I noticed you voted for the redevelopment of the park. In what way do you think the park can be improved? You are interested to know about them. Or to a senior member or an older person, what are you going to do when you retire? Do you have any hobbies? What do you do in your spare time? Do you have any pets? Do you travel much? So how is your day going? Just a general question. How are you going today? All right. So that is to a senior member or an older person. You can ask these questions. How about at networking events? Many of you attend network marketing events or networking events. Think of quality of context, not the quantity. All right. I know many of you go there and take 10 name cards from everybody. You got 10 leads, you say. Yeah. But what you want is the quality of your contact, not the quantity. Engage the contact in talking about himself. How did you get involved in your business? Ask them. Is this an exciting business to be in? Or do you go to other events like this? You can also say, if you're new, I don't know many people here, so I wanted to introduce myself to you. Asking about their background is important. Huh? Asking about their background is a professional and inviting way to begin a conversation. For example, welcome to the team. Where were you before you joined us here? Yeah, I hope you're taking note of all these examples I'm giving you. There's no end to all these examples. I'm just picking up a few that you can use in your daily life, right? Okay, now tips on how to talk to people and be extremely interesting. You must be interested in them. Encourage them to talk about themselves and their interests. Remove the words I, me, and mine, and replace them with you and yours. Now, I want you to compare these two statements, okay? Number one is, I know how successful this plan is because my other clients tell me how my advice has helped them achieve what they told me they wanted. That's the first statement, huh? Compare it with this one. When you take this action, you'll be excited about the results you will achieve because it will benefit you and your family in ways you couldn't have imagined. Do you see the difference? Yeah, can you see the difference? You're not talking about me, my, you're talking about you, yours. Okay, so always talk about the other person. Ask only questions to get them to talk about themselves. How was your holiday? How did you get into your line of work? What do you think about whatever you want to ask them? Okay, what do you think about? Ask them their opinion. Okay, so this is a very good way of talking about the other person. Then how to ask great questions. Now, questions must always be open-ended, okay? There's also closed questions and open-ended questions. Now, questions which require 1 or 2 word answers. Sounds like an interrogation, right? When did you start your work as an accountant? 1 year ago. Did you like the movies? Yes. These are close-ended questions, okay? Which require only 1 word or 2 word answers. Now, that's not a conversation, right? Open-ended questions are those that require elaboration, opinions, and explanations, and it will quickly build rapport to show other people that you're interested in them. You are perceived as interesting, dynamic, sincere, and caring. Questions like how? Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your work. Does that include, does that sound open-ended? Then he has to tell you about his work, right? He cannot say, yes, I like my work. No, I don't like my work. Open-ended means tell me about your work. In what way? Ask him open-ended questions. Yeah? So how did you get started as an accountant? Tell me about the part of the movie you enjoyed most. You don't ask the person, did you like the movie? Yes. He can say yes, he can say no. But if you ask him, Tell me about the part of the movie you enjoyed most. Doesn't it sound better? It opens up a conversation. Oh, I like the part where this happened, and then you start discussing, right? So always bear in mind, your questions must be open-ended. Yeah. If you ask a close-ended question, follow up with an open-ended one. For example, when did you move to Singapore? That's a close-ended. You can say last year. Then you can follow up with another question, say, why did you move to Singapore? That requires a further explanation, right? Follow? Yeah, so far? Okay, yeah. So you know how to ask a close-ended and how to ask an open-ended question, right? Now, the next one will be talking about yourself. Now, you may volunteer some information about yourself between questions, so it will not sound like an interrogation of the other person, all right? You only talk about yourself if someone asks you about yourself. Remember, they're not interested, huh? Yeah? You have to actively listen to their answers. So some of you ask questions and you don't even wait for the answers to come out of the person's mouth. Yeah, you're asking the next question. You're not listening. Okay, when you listen, you will be able to identify their needs, how they answer the question. You must be very, very sensitive to people's answers. Yeah, from there you can find out their needs. Okay, so next one will be conversation skills. Now, but before we rush out to meet people, let's learn a few conversation skills. In this way, we will feel more comfortable in our initial conversations. What are these skills that you need to have? You need to have empathy, right? Empathy is the most important thing to have when you speak to someone. Put yourself in the other person's brain. When we see things from other people's viewpoints, it is easy to connect. Conversations are easy. Rapport becomes effortless. Everyone thinks they are right. We think we are right. Our viewpoint is the correct viewpoint. What we believe is true. Sounds natural, doesn't it? Is that how you think? We all think we are right. How do you connect with a person who does not think the same way as we do? Many people do not think like us. I'm sure you've encountered them, yeah? We must train ourselves to respect and allow him to think differently. We need to accept different viewpoints. We cannot lie to agree with them, but we can tactfully say, interesting. I never looked at it that way. Does that sound good? Instead of arguing with a person, right? Interesting. I never looked at it that way. I feel good when someone tells me that, you know, he's not arguing with me, but I'm just giving another viewpoint. Now, empathy comes with practice. Empathy means we appreciate others' viewpoint and understand why they might be thinking that way. No matter how hard we try, we occasionally have a bad experience with a new person. With empathy, this rejection will be easier to understand. We can understand these people and their feelings, then continue to move forward to meet new people. Now, you can also use the feel, felt, found method, which we discussed before. I know how you feel. I felt like you before, but I found out it is not true. I found out something else. Okay? Feel, felt, found is a very good way of answering any kind of objection that people will come up with. Well, I know how you feel because I felt like it before. Okay? So straight away, you're not confrontational. Never argue with a prospect. Huh? What do you have to say? I never looked at it that way before. Okay? Now, listening tips. How do you feel when others don't pay attention to you or do not listen to you? Have you been in a situation where you're saying something and the other person is not even listening to you? You feel very devalued and you feel very small. Never let a person feel devalued or small. When meeting someone for the first time, listening etiquette is mandatory. You are doomed, okay, if you look like you are not listening or paying attention to them, okay? Now, what does listen to hear and understand mean? Listen to what they're saying and internalize what they mean, and you get to know the person better. I think a lot of you make mistake by just saying and talking one way, okay? Telling the person what you're thinking, what you're feeling. You're not listening. So there's no two-way communication. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, most people do not listen to the other party. You just want to talk and talk and talk about themselves. When we talk, we stop listening. How can you talk and listen at the same time, right? So what advice is, don't talk. Of course, that doesn't mean you must remain dumb. Okay, you still have to respond in the right way. Okay, but try to stop talking and listen more. Okay, now people love approval. Nodding gives approval to someone without interrupting them. But don't overdo it. It looks phony if you keep nodding and nodding and nodding, okay? No phony nodding. Of course, when a person talks, you can, yes, I agree. You know, when you nod, it gives approval to someone without interrupting them. However, you must not badger the person with quick questions, as it will put the person on guard. You cannot come on one after another like a bullet train coming in one after another questions. No, it sounds like an interrogation. Okay, pause, stop, listen to this answer and respond. Okay, now phone etiquette. Phone etiquette is, our goal is to meet people, you know, right? And have a conversation. That's our goal. Turn off your phone. How would you feel if you're having a conversation with a person and he keeps on checking his phone for messages or even starts returning messages when you're talking to them? How does that feel? Okay, please turn off your phone. Turn off your phone when you're talking to someone. That is phone etiquette. You would feel that anything on this person's phone is more important than our conversation, correct? If you keep on doing that. Our value drops to 0. Have some empathy. Turn off your phone. Right? Now, the third one will be building rapport. How do you build rapport? It starts after the initial contact. Find something in common to connect with the people you meet. Now, for example, people you know in common, places we both visited, having similar tastes in food. Now, these are keys in being in common with that person. Try and look for a platform where you have common likes and dislikes or common tastes. Now, a shared trait is often a great way to form an instant connection. For example, hey, I noticed you sign with your left hand. I'm a lefty too. That's a shared trait, okay? You're finding something you have in common with that person. A shared activity or interest. Or I noticed you are inquiring about cooking classes. I love cooking too. Shared interests. Okay, it could be similar beliefs on certain issues also. When meeting a person for the first time, avoid personal, sensitive, or controversial topics like politics and religion. Okay, try to avoid these controversial topics. You will do fine, I'm telling you, if you just stick to commonalities and avoid disagreement. Okay, always remember that. Do not have disagreement, do not have confrontation. All right? Yes. Now, here are a list of emergency questions you can ask. I call them emergency questions because there are sometimes awkward silence moments. And these are easy starter questions. Like, for instance, where are the refreshments? Or where's the ladies? Or I missed the first part of the event. Could you fill me in on what they covered? Do you know the organizer of this event? Or have you taken any trips lately? Do you know what time this event finishes? Be curious, ask questions. Okay, easy, right? So once you're aware that these things happen, that you know how to formulate these questions. Now we're going to have a breakout room now. I would like you to do some role playing. Start with a conversation with someone you do not know. Okay, room leaders, you have your participants. Select the participants and select the prospects. Preferably the person starting the conversation does not know the prospect. Okay, can we get on with that? Can we have some sharing?
Badet Banai.
Okay, Badet, over to you.
Yes. Hi, Doc D. Hello. Good morning.
Hi, Bernadette.
Hi, Doc. So in our breakout room, we're creating situation wherein me and Jennifer, the situation is attending Tony's walking the fire event, and Jennifer is a first timer and scared, and I was there. Actually, we're not able to finish it because the breakout room is done already before Alvin and Dr. D and Badat can do a comment. But I think during our event, I need to do more about. I've learned from you, Pauline, that it's all about it's all about our prospect. It's about them, but not us. But the mistake that I always encounter is I think too fast. That sometimes I don't give time to like even think about their emotions. That time I didn't even think about Jennifer being scared. And I was just being excited about my my encounter of the event. Yeah.
Okay, so you must listen and look at the other person's response before you proceed.
Yeah. About their feeling.
Yeah, we are
about
too
how they
fast
feel.
in telling what we want to say, and then you forget to listen to what they have to say, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But this is a very good practice.
Yes,
Thanks,
please
Jen.
practice more. Yes. Empathy.
Thanks.
Empathy.
Yeah, empathy. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Pauline.
Anyone? Yeah. Good, Bernard. Anyone else want to practice? Want to share what happened in the room? Good or bad? Just share. Yeah, because we learn from mistakes.
Okay, Tisa, you want to share?
Can I share? Can I share?
Can.
Okay, sure.
Oh, Ivy here. Okay, I
Yes.
think I learned again. I've forgotten to ask permission. I started by, of course, I think I started by asking Mary how she blah blah blah, that kind of thing, and it went well. But she's quite a hard nutcracker to crack lah, because she has no, you know that. But we managed to start after that, warm her up already. But I think I asked a very something I straight went into that I want to share about network marketing, which I did not get my prospects permission. Can I share with you something that can attract you? You know, if you are working into your priorities is family and time freedom. So this is one thing that I need to remember, that ask permission. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivy. Yes. Kit, you saying something?
Jising to share. So just now in the practice also, I noticed that it could be a habit, because of my work. So I think the asking the questions portions, too many questions will ended up like interrogations. So perhaps, you know, like in the conversations, make it a little bit lighter rather than too specific. And also
make it natural.
Yes. So that is one learning. Also, I think the DP Genie also shares some very useful tips, you know, especially in social events, you know, how and also Kit also shared that how we can have the C profile in mind, so that when we have the conversations, you know, we can learn a bit more, you know, about the persons. So that, you know, we with the intention of following up, things like that. So I think C profile will give a very good structure to ask a question around the person, so you show interest of the to learn more about the person as well. So that is also a very good tips.
Yes, and also remember, when you meet a new person, you don't have the C profile. It's brand new person. You need to find out more.
Find out more.
I think the danger with some of them in the breakout room was to ask close-ended questions that require a yes and no answer and no follow-up. You must ask open-ended questions so the person can develop and give you more information, and that forms the conversation. Okay, so try to avoid close-ended questions.
Maybe Pauline, can we also invite Dr. Gill from our room? Yeah, I
Yes, please.
understand. She actually talked to two total strangers. One, she can close a direct GA in 3 days. And
Wow, that's
another
good.
lady,
Yeah.
VIP. Let's hear from her.
Okay,
And
carry on.
Dr. Gill?
Spotlight, Dr. Gill. Yes, Dr. Gill.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
What?
Share with us your secret, Dr. Gill.
I got lost. Well, just to share with you how I did an instant GA closing prospect. So one day I was waiting for my ride, and I met a woman just at the lobby of the office of the building, and she was limping. So how did I approach? So I said, "Oh, may I help you? You seem not to walk properly." Oh, and she offered her hand to be helped. And so I asked her, "Oh, how are you doing? What are your pains?" No, I'm a doctor. I'm Dr. Gail, and we have our office at the 30th floor here in Jollibee Plaza. "Oh, it's nice to meet you, Dr. Gail," she said. "And then my office is also in this building. I work at Jollibee Plaza." "Oh, would you like me to help you ease your pain? Can we meet again?" "Oh, that is very nice of you, Dr. Gail," she said. "And then, can we meet tomorrow or the next day? Or when are you free so we can meet and discuss about your health? We have lots of doctors here, so we may be able to be of help to you." And successfully, after 3 days, we met, and then we discussed, we declare on a GAA pack with a person, with a woman whom I just met 3 days ago.
Well done. Fantastic. See how Dr.
Thank
Gill,
you.
see how Dr. Gill progressed with caring for the person, right? She showed her care for the person, the concern, and it's all about her, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how we progress in a conversation with the person. Of course, it helps a lot thinking that you're a doctor. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But ordinary people can also do the same. All right. Yeah. So, but Dr. Gill did it so well. It was doing with poise. Yeah. Helping the person. Always prospect from the position of strength and from poise. All right. Don't be so desperate to want to talk to the person. People can feel if you're desperate and you want to have them as your prospect. Yeah. So intention, that goes to intention. Your intention was to help her. Right. So that was well received by the other party. Well done, Dr. Gill. More of it, please.
Thank you.
Meet more people. Yeah. Excellent. So for her, the situation was the correct timing for her to do that. Situation, in the right situation, saying the right words. Okay, got it. Yeah, got it. Sorry about that. Technical. All right. So we have finished the sharing of the breakout room. Let's go to the next topic of meeting new people. How do you meet new people? Okay. Now, people are everywhere, right? Remember, our goal is to meet new people. So if you know that people are everywhere, the challenge is all in our own heads, right? It is our mindset. Do you feel that there's no one in your location to talk to? Sometimes people will start thinking, oh, when I'm working, I've got no one to talk to. You know, where my situation is every day, there's no one I can talk to. Change that thinking. You are the location. Okay, remember, we are the location. There are people around us everywhere we go. You're probably thinking that there are no approachable people. you know, how to approach these people. Now that you have an idea how to approach people, we can choose the people we want to approach and where to look for them. Okay, just don't talk to any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Yeah, we must know where to choose the people we want to approach. Right, Jim Rohn always says this, we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Right, so always mix with the right people if you want to find the correct person for your prospects. Ask yourself this question: if we can choose which people we want to meet, who would you like to spend time with? Positive and confident people will rub off on ourselves, right? Similarly, negative people will also rub off on us. So if you want to fly with the eagles, don't swim with the ducks. That's what you say, right? So find the right people in the right location. Let's look for people for instance, in social groups. Okay, look at the list there. People are everywhere. Social groups. Local social groups are those that have common hobbies. For example, if you like eating, join a dinner group or socialize over food, right? If you like cooking, join cooking classes. We can find interest groups which resonates with us on the internet. For example, book clubs, music, art, outdoor activities, fashion, movies, fitness, personal development courses, or investing. Like some of you go for walks, morning walks. These are all common hobbies that we can socialize over. Yeah, and these choices are all unlimited. You can think of so many places where you can find people. Surround yourself with positive people who want to learn. Means you will meet like-minded people. Okay, there are some people who you can talk until your mouth runs dry, they will not respond. Okay, remember the SW, right? Some will, some won't, so what? Move on, right? You cannot squeeze blood out of a stone, right? So you can try your best, but if some people just don't want it, you just move on to the next person, right? Now, networking groups are also pretty good places. Some groups are more formal. For instance, the BNI, Kat will tell you about the BNI networking group, where a group of small businesses meet for breakfast solely for the purpose of creating new leads for each other. There are also plenty of informal networking groups where everyone attending wants to meet new people. Yeah, we can also start our own informal networking groups. Yes, you can create your own. Parties. Parties can be after-work gatherings, birthday celebrations, barbecues, housewarming. Everyone is in a festive mood, so it's easier to start conversations with people when they are happy. Okay, so you must know the timing, when to speak to these people. Traveling. People have a common interest and might want to meet new people. Some interesting questions you can ask is, what is the best thing to see whilst I'm visiting this city? Ask someone, when you go to a new place. Or where is the best place to eat here? Can you recommend a place to stay? Do you know where I can find whatever you're looking for? The art gallery, the museum, whichever, right? Just go around having conversations and asking questions. Now, reunions are perfect timing also. All of you have school reunion, right? Yeah, every time you hear, oh, I'm going for reunion, I'm going reunion. Yeah, family reunions and class reunions, the best thing is for you to know who will come. Some will come with their new spouse, okay? All right, now, home show, expo, or flea markets. Vendors are busy talking to individuals, so practice talking with the individuals visiting or the vendors in their downtime when they're not busy, right? I think most of you have had experience in this, yeah, expos and all that, yeah? So you have put that into practice. Attend courses. What subject should we choose? Okay, many of you attend online courses, right? Some of them are physical courses. One that we are most interested in because everyone in the class will have something in common with us. And we will learn new things about one of our favorite subjects. Okay, so put that in practice. Sign up for courses which you where people are in common with you. Helping people. The opportunity to help people is always there. You can always help people do volunteer work. Schools, charities, fundraisers, all these can be helping people. Dance classes, even getting a haircut, you can meet people, right? Now, the other one will be going for walks. That's what you guys do, right? I think many of you have developed walking groups. Or if you're walking alone, choose a path that's popular with the locals. Then you can meet the local people in your neighborhood. Or get a dog, because a dog is a very good conversation piece. Yeah, you can ask the person about the dog, or you talk about your dog. So something which is in common with others. Okay, so that is how you meet people. People are everywhere. Okay, don't tell me that there's no one I can meet. I got nobody to talk to. Then you must be a hermit. Yeah. Okay. Now, social media. Meeting people online is not the same as meeting them in person. We all know that, right? I know some of us have hundreds of thousands of friends on Facebook. Do you really know them? Not really, right? Yeah. We want quality contacts and relationships instead of clicking a button that says we are friends. Yeah. How do we create a deeper relationship with these initial contacts? And that is the real test. You can have 1,000 friends on your Facebook. How many good contacts do you have? With the same techniques we learned earlier, just now, ask non-invasive questions and listen to them. Then you can pick a commonality with them so that you can have something to talk about. An online strategy is to ask yourself, if I have a choice, would I like to meet someone far away or someone locally? Of course, the obvious answer, right? If we meet them locally, we can eventually meet them in person or an event or over coffee or a meal. But since we have already met them online, we will feel comfortable meeting them in person. On the other hand, we also like meeting people far, far away, but it is just harder to meet them in person to build a deeper relationship. So a greater effort has to be taken to build a deeper relationship if they are far away. Most of us have been meeting people online during the last few years when we are restricted from going out, right? It is all very good practice to meet people on social media. Yeah. Another online strategy is to contact people with similar interests. We've gone through the different situations just now. Start where you have the best chance to build rapport. Okay, you yourself will know which is the best chance for you to build rapport. Okay, now common modes of communication will be by text, by email, or by phone, right? These are all methods of communication. Then, of course, you have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Telegram. These are different modes of contact. Yeah, there's some of you here who are very effective on Facebook communication, like our Facebook queens, but that Jenny, Yin Yin, who do the Chinese version, Betsy, Jeannie, and our Facebook King Kid, right? We can learn from them. This will be another class for you. Okay, so stay tuned for that. So these are different means of communication. Now, the next part I would like to actually elaborate more is the levels of communication. Okay, you have heard me talking many times about what level of communication is this? What's the best level of communication, remember? Then we will have to go through the different levels. Here, I'm going to explain to you the different levels of communication, right? So, how to build relationship and the difference between a one-way communication and a two-way communication. Many of us are involved in one-way communication. Yeah, how many of you love to text or email your prospects? How many of you? Most of you, text and email, right? Now, text and email are one-way communication. You are talking at someone. There's no feedback, immediate feedback. It is harder to write correctly and clearly than when you are talking to someone. Correct? Emails and texts can be misunderstood. Furthermore, it is very impersonal. It's not bad, but hard to communicate your belief and passion via email and text. How do I show my passion when I email to you? What words can I use to show you my passion? Very hard. It is a one-way communication. Okay. Now, level 2. What is better than a simple text message? A website, company brochure, or video. Now, this is still one-way communication. You may think that, oh, I send them my company info, I send them brochure, I send them this already. That is still one-way communication because we are still talking at our prospects. There's no feedback, no approval or participation. We're still operating blind. Good communication requires feedback. You may be sending them info about the company, but all they're interested in is your product. Yeah, so it takes more than information and tools to build a relationship with our prospects. It takes us. We must build the relationship. All right. Now, level 3 is a live phone call. Now, this is the start of a two-way communication. Why? Because we can give our prospect our message and we can listen for their feedback immediately. We can hear their tone of voice. We can answer their questions immediately. We can check for their understanding of our answer. Now, this is what we call a conversation. A two-way conversation is much faster than simply sending a message, hence a faster decision-making process. That means 5 minutes of talking can replace 5 days of messaging. Yeah, you agree with me? Yeah, messaging takes a long time. Whereas you pick up the phone and talk to them, 5 minutes you can get your answer already, right? Now, level 4, two-way communication via video call or Zoom. Now, words, tonality, and body language are important, as we all know. We can see their facial expressions. We can see their smile. We can see their eyes roll, or we see if they fall asleep. Yeah, whilst you're talking. Yeah. Similarly, they can also see our facial expression. They can see your passion. They can see your expression. Yeah. Okay. So level 4, two-way communication is a good way of communicating. Now, what is level 5? Now, this is a two-way communication in person. Okay, what's the difference? There is a bonding, which you cannot get in a simple message. Imagine you've been building a relationship with someone from messages and phone calls, and you participated in conference calls and training. You'll be looking forward to be meeting her in person at the annual dinner and convention, as you both already have a special bond. Okay, so develop that bond, invite them to your annual dinner and convention. Right? Now, we make contacts on social media all the time. Our goal is to move them up the ladder of communication to level 3, 4, or even 5 conversation. Take, for example, we meet someone on the plane, as we all do. The prospect lives 1,000 miles away. So even if you met this person at level 5, it is difficult to continue at this level, right? We cannot meet everyone in person. There are distance and time considerations. If you can't meet someone because they're thousands of miles away, simply choose the highest level of communication that is available to you. Okay, that's your judgment call. Pick the most effective, highest level of communication. Now, level 6. This is my favorite. I think all of you know this, my level 6 communication, right? It is a two-way communication in person over food. Food, okay? This is the level 6. Now, there's a special connection if you meet someone in person over a meal. It may be more powerful than 100 messages or 10 phone calls. Firstly, there's no tension. We communicate better when our prospects are relaxed and enjoying the food-filled bonding experience. Now, don't worry about showing your brochures and company videos. Forget about that, all right? We spend lunch talking about the big picture, what we want to do with our business partnership. Our prospects can see the supporting information later at their own convenience, all right? If you are working, do a breakfast meeting, or later a lunch meeting. Always pick the right timing, right? When people are more relaxed and over food. And that's why I always tell you guys, communication level 6 is the best communication level. Okay, don't forget it, if possible. Of course, you can't have a level 6 over the internet, right? unless you send food over by delivery service to the other person, right? So as far as you can, choose the best level that you can is available to you. All right. So that is the 6 levels of communication, which I wanted to really, make you practice. Now, always remember, there's no such thing as a bad prospect. A prospect becomes good or bad depending on what you say to him. I've always said this many times to many of you, right? It's not what they are, it's what you say to them that makes them good or bad. So don't come telling me and say, oh, I met this guy, lousy prospect. Oh, that one is lousy. Everyone is lousy. Because it's what you say to them that is wrong. Okay? You are the one who makes a good or bad prospect. Yeah. So now that you have learned the skills, how to start a conversation with anyone, all you must do is to practice them until you're comfortable saying those words. Also, learn and practice. I'm going to show you some of the magic words for prospecting. Some of you have already attended that talk about the magic words. Yeah. So let's look at some magic words, which you can practice. Okay. Would you be interested in? Must never say that, huh? Okay. Never say this. Would you be interested in? Always ask them, would it be okay? Okay. Would it be okay if I'm sitting here, you could look 10 years younger when you wake up? Would it be okay? Sounds good, right? Or would you be interested in? Oh, people will shy away from you when you say this. Would you be interested in? Okay. Now, would it be okay if I showed you how to earn an extra 1,000 a month? Would it be okay? Would it be okay if I showed you how to earn $500 to pay for your car payments? Would it be okay if I could allow you how to save on your doctor's bills? Would it be okay if I spoke to your friends? Would it be okay if we set up a meeting for lunch or coffee? See, you're asking permission. Yeah? So it sounds very, it's a better taste, in inviting people. Not would you be interested in? Okay, sounds very suspicious. All right. The other one will be 4 words. I just found out. Remember this? I just found out. I just found out how I can fire my boss and start my own business. I just found out. Oh, what did you find out? Yeah, how can I do that? I just found out how to stay at home with my kids and still get a full-time paycheck. Nice, right? I just found out how to retire 5 years earlier. I just found out how to take a 1-week vacation every month. Sounds even better. So be creative, all right? Add in whichever one you want. I just found out 4 words. All you have to remember is these 4 words. All right? The next time I meet you, you're going to say these 4 words, all right? Okay? Now, next one. I'm just curious. Remember we went through some of this just now? I'm just curious. Would you like to get 2 paychecks instead of 1? I'm just curious. Would you like to work 4 days instead of 6 days? I'm just curious what you love about your job. Sounds good, right? Very innocent questions you're asking. Okay, remember, huh? So it's always the words you say that makes the prospect good or bad. It's not the prospect themselves. Got it? Right? So practice various approaches for different people. Right, now that you learn up to this stage, it's going to be another breakout room discussion. All right? You're going to practice talking to these following people. Huh? Either millennials, working adults, including corporate flyers, single parents, housewives, retirees, your bosses. Now, you're going to pick either one of these and start practicing how to speak to them. Okay, can we have the breakout rooms, please?